Hi, I'm Gene McLaughlin. I'd like to welcome you to Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry. On this program, the mayor has an opportunity to chat with you about things happening in the township and to introduce you to interesting people making those things happen. Mayor, how are you doing today?
Hi, Gene. How's it going?
Doing well, thank you, Mayor.
Same here.
And we're back again.
Back again. Thanks for having me. I appreciate every opportunity you give me to talk about Old Bridge and what's going on in town.
Good to give you more of a chance to talk about it right now, Mayor.
It's so important the residents know what's going on around town.
Well, the other night, I noticed at the council meeting you promoted two new officers, employed two new police officers.
Right, and that's, and Gene, we put 2 additional people on. I think the last council meeting, we put 4.
Right.
This is 2 additional officers on, and that enforces our commitment here to public safety here in Old Bridge. And the really good thing about this is under a new ordinance that came in under my administration, allowing the mayor to hire additional officers under the alternate route program. The previous administration, the previous ordinance only allowed 2 alternate route officers. We changed the ordinance to 6. So the mayor has the ability to hire 6 officers under the alternative route. And what that means, these officers are ready to go. They're either coming out of the academy already, or they're coming from other departments. So, and that speeds up the process by over a year. The traditional way was hiring someone, sending them to the academy, training them, anywhere between a 12 and an 18-month process. This allows us to put individuals, men and or women, on the road within a matter of 60 days. So it saves the residents the expense of going to the academy, the risk of someone dropping out of the academy after investing all that money into them, the expense of giving a test. So, and I thank the council for changing the ordinance. But not only did we change the number of men or women we're allowed to hire, was the educational requirements.
Yes,
college requirements, and everyone that I've hired has been degreed or has an associate's degree or is going to school.
I saw that the other night.
So we're really excited about these 10 officers that I've hired since I've been the mayor. There were these, the potential. More than 10% of the department has been put on during my administration. So we have, they're today's patrolmen, tomorrow sergeants, next week's lieutenants, next month's captains, and who knows, maybe the next chief.
That's right.
So I'd love to come back one day and see one of the people that I've hired be the chief of this department.
Okay, Mayor, thank you. Mayor, I also noticed at the council meeting the other night you addressed a subject that we've discussed many times here on the program, and that's substance abuse in the township, alcohol, drug abuse, and you issued a proclamation. You want to just touch on that?
Well, September is the month which the nation recognizes as the month where we focus a little bit more on drug and alcohol addiction. And I read the proclamation. I also had 2 speakers come to the council and inform the council. It's important that the council knows, and the public on TV, our efforts here in Old Bridge to combat this epidemic that is sweeping our nation, sweeping our state, sweeping our county, and is right here in Old Bridge. And we have to acknowledge that. And we're doing everything we can to educate in our schools, to education, prevention, and with the new officers now, increased enforcement.
Yes.
And then we saw our last speaker of the night was when our efforts fail and someone is addicted, that they have treatment, that they have programs, recovery, and to get drug-free or alcohol-free, and get back into society and help the families that are dealing with addiction. It's a painful process, and I don't wish that on anyone.
No.
But yet we have people here in Old Bridge that are suffering, and we need to do everything we can as a community to help them.
Okay, Mayor, I think we're off to a good start, and certainly by giving it the publicity we've given it
it's important.
a couple months on the show here.
We can't put our heads in the sand and say it does not exist here in Old Bridge.
Right.
We are making it better. It is getting better, and I've seen that through results. Young people who have become addicted and now are off and are staying clean because of programs that are available in our town and the surrounding communities. I know our education is working in school, and not only in school, but in our community as a whole with the 24-hour drop-off box for prescription drugs, our portable prescription drugs that we can take to communities where they can bring their prescription med, get rid of it, because that's where it starts. It starts in the medicine cabinet at home, or it starts in the doctor's office who prescribes these drugs. Nobody gets up in the morning and says, I want to be a heroin addict.
No, but as you said, I think education is a major part of
and
this.
All our eggs are in that basket here with the Municipal Alliance. We're education and prevention, and we've always been a strong enforcement. And now we're going to be getting more and more and more involved in the treatment and recovery.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Mayor, you know, I think we've got a couple of outstanding guests today, one of whom has been with us before, one of whom is a newcomer. And folks, we're delighted to welcome back the Superintendent of Schools, David Cittadino, and we have a guest also today, Kathleen Elle, who has been a partner with the schools in putting through some of the new programs. And Superintendent, thank you for being with us.
Gene, thank you for being here. Mr. Mayor, thank you for having me as
Dave,
well.
thanks for coming.
And Kathleen, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome,
guys for
Kath.
having me.
Okay. Superintendent, as we discussed, last time you were in here, we talked about the award you got for the National Character of Schools.
Right.
Now you're on a new campaign, it looks like, Pay It Forward campaign. You seem to be on a roll. Tell us about that, will you?
Well, when Old Bridge School District was selected as one of only 3 school districts across the country with the prestigious award as the National District of Character.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen through a lot of hard work of the community and our staff. So we recognize that we're not going to sit and rest on our laurels and just take a bow and say thank you. We wanted to pay it forward and thank the staff, the teachers who put on a tremendous amount of work through the application process to make it possible.
Right.
And the students in the communities, inclusive of the parents, who got in line and stood behind us and supported us through this process and helped us with a lot of the data that's necessary to receive this recognition. And we wanted to pay it forward. And we're going to go out and try to make Old Bridge a better place. It's already a great place to live and learn. And we'll make Old Bridge better, New Jersey better, and who knows, maybe the world better.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent. One of the things I noticed that when the school season started, you had a large conference of about 800 teachers. Yeah. Is this common? Is this tied in with the campaign to do this every year?
Well, there's usually some kind of, the school year starts off with professional development, and it's necessary. But we like to start off with a little keynote as part of this administration to inspire the staff, from our teachers, our secretaries, bus drivers, mechanics, who have you. We want to get them excited about this new school year and deliver them the, I guess, the mantra of the year, and this year is pay it forward. Okay,
thank you. And Kathleen, how did you enter this whole situation?
Well, Mr. Cittadino reached out to me because he knows about my anti-bullying song, Don't Let Them In, and the impact that it's had on a bunch of victims and teachers globally. So he reached out to me and asked me to be part of this Pay It Forward campaign.
Okay, and I understood that you talked to these teachers. You made a little presentation to the 800 teachers. What did you say?
The main point of my talk was the power of music that I've witnessed, where my anti-bullying song, Don't Let Them In, has really helped victims. There was a girl in the Philippines who had been bullied since she was 10. She's 17 now. She would work out all the time because she was too fat for the bullies, and straighten her hair. And I'm sure that she had been told many times that you shouldn't listen to the bullies, don't let them in. But it was my song that spoke to her and stopped her from trying to commit suicide a second time.
Well, thank you for that, Kathleen. And folks, we're going to have Kathleen play that song for you a little later in the program, so stay with us for that. Superintendent, you challenged the teachers. 15 new things, I believe I read. What kind of things you expect them to do, would you like them to do? So in last year's initiative, or the first day keynote, I said, we often hear about a bucket list, and inherently I found a bucket list to be kind of negative. These are things you want to do before you kick the bucket. And you never know when that is. So when do you start putting your list together? Yeah. So a more productive way of looking at it, more positive, I thought, was to try to do 15 new things in 2015. Really? And then 16 new things in 2016. One, it tells you when you have to start. January 1st is when you start, and gives you an end date. And it's not, waiting for the end to start your list. So this year's challenge to them was to pay it forward. And the way you'd pay it forward is your age. So I will say on TV that I'm 47 years old. Okay. And so in my 47th year, I should do 47 random acts of kindness. Oh, okay. And if you think about that, if everyone does that, if you just randomly do kind things for people, right? How much better of a place it'll be? I just the other day I stopped off at ShopRite, and there were some servicemen in front of me, in the camos, just picking up a few things. So I picked up the cost of the order for them. And then yesterday I had my son, we were getting ice cream at Haagen-Dazs, and
a young girl in front of him, probably college age, she let him cut it in front of her because, you know, he's a little kid and he wanted ice cream. So I paid for her ice cream as well, and she's asked me why I did. I said, all I want you to do is do the same thing for someone else. And it makes the day. You know, you don't have to do anything tremendous, but you know, something as simple as, you know, taping 4 quarters to one of those little mechanical rides in the mall.
Yes.
You sit back, you know, if you're a little kid and you're walking up, now you have a little note that says, enjoy a free ride on me. You know, that's something you did for someone else. So we don't do enough, I think, to make someone else's day. And that's really the point of this, to make someone else's day. And that's what tied it in with Kathleen is now she's creating music and doing work to make someone else's life better. So naturally, when I was looking for someone to help me spread the message of paying it forward, Kathleen was the right person.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent. Mayor, you know, I think it's a wonderful concept the superintendent's talking about, not only for the school system, but for the whole township. I mean, if you think back to the movie some years ago, 10 or 15 years ago, Pay It Forward, that was sort of the whole thing. It permeated the whole community.
Yeah, no, I can't agree more with Dave. I mean, it's what it's all about.
Right.
That's what I consider I'm here for, you know, to help people and give people opportunity. And I think this district is doing a tremendous job. And unexpectedly, the Lieutenant Governor on 9/11,
yes,
if anyone was there, commented the reason she comes to Old Bridge,
she played right to the
she comes to Old Bridge because of the involvement in the district with our 9/11 ceremony. And this year I think it was taken up to another notch with the orchestra being there. So you can't say enough about what the kids do today, and I've said it since I've been the mayor.
Yes, sir.
Whenever I needed help with anything, I go to Dave, and you know, the ROTC is there, or volunteers, or you know, the band. Just going to the football games on Friday night to me is a tremendous, you know, asset. You know, growing up in Old Bridge and having to go back and see those kids perform on the field. You know, soccer, just all, you know, just athletics in general is just, and to have that opportunity and see it now, and knowing that it is working, and getting results. And I think that's what it's all about, to get a better student here in Old Bridge. And I think they are achieving that. They've set a goal.
Oh, yeah.
They are achieving that.
Definitely. One thing, if I may ask you, Superintendent, you also talk about local pride, global impact. What does that have to do with this campaign?
Well, we recognize that, you know, we've had the opportunity to have our students really travel beyond the borders of Old Bridge and the state of New Jersey. We've had our students making an impact in France. We've had our students traveling to Germany making an impact. We've had them in Italy recently. And everywhere they've gone, there's been comments coming back saying, you know, it was such a pleasure to work with and learn with the students from Old Bridge. So we recognize that they're going out into the world with the success that we help to provide them with, and that service learning piece and the education, and they're really making that global impact. But at the heart of it too, they still give us pride locally, and we're proud of everything they do. And I think that's inherent in the community of Old Bridge. What I found and fell in love with here is that no one says, you know, that's not my problem, you know, that is someone else's problem. They always seem to have the time here and the fortitude to step up and assist someone else.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent. Folks, we're getting ready to take a break. Please stay with us. We'll be back in a moment to talk with our guest, Superintendent of Schools David Cittadino, and Kathleen Elle, who's going to share some of her music and some of her thoughts with you. Stay with us.
And then from this angle, it all makes a star.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore.
Show up
and frustration, a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy, and giving up impossible.
And then we're going to turn the lights and everybody look up.
I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought.
Finally won. What's your reaction? Yeah! Yeah, exactly.
And unconventional methods.
Okay, what else?
Common.
This is their world.
There's nothing.
And then they die. Go ahead, go, go, go.
I'm a teacher. I make more.
Welcome back to Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry. Today we're delighted to have with us two special guests, David Cittadino, who is the Superintendent of Schools, and Kathleen Elle, who is a student who has become involved in many of the township issues relating to education and music. And if we can pick up where we left off, Superintendent, you obviously have the buy-in for this program from the students and the staff. I notice you have outreach to the parents and interestingly enough to realtors. How have the parents responded?
Well, the parents have been tremendous in their connections with the schools. Everything from social media with Twitter. I think they're at least half of the 4,000 plus followers that I have, and everything on the Twitter is related to schools, promoting the schools, and informing everyone from the students and the parents about. The kids are always interested by the closures, weather-related updates. That's why they're following me. I have no misconceptions about that. But the parents about upcoming events, open house, and so forth, just to stay involved, but also to promote the schools as well. And then the second part is the some of them who are grandparents or are residents that don't have children in our schools anymore, but are still a vital supporter of our schools and members of our community. I've been doing some outreach there, going to age-restricted communities and speaking to residents there about how the school district can help support them and to thank them for their support of the school district, and to let them know what's going on in the schools. Because many, again, if you don't have children here and everyone's time is tied up, you don't always know what's going on in the schools. So I wanted to let them know about the good things that are going on in the schools and where their tax dollars are going.
But I think from that standpoint, I think we talked about it last time you were here, Mayor, the fact that it enhances the value of the entire township.
Right. Yes.
By virtue of the school system being superb.
A good school system equals a good town.
Yeah, and I think that's a great idea what you're doing. How about the realtors?
And that was interesting. This was something that I found that hadn't been done in the past. So I invited, cold called dozens and dozens of realtors that serve Old Bridge, and they may have been from Old Bridge themselves, East Brunswick, Sayreville, South Amboy, and we had a nice turnout. About 31 showed up, representing various realtor groups, and they're the first person when you're marketing a home for people coming into the community. They have to know about the schools to really market us properly and really to let them know the services we provide for our students and our families here. And I wanted them to have the information. I wanted them to know about their SAT scores are the highest in Old Bridge School District history, and that we are a national district of character, and some of our programs, and that they weren't able to really speak to prior to that. They just knew that your child, if you moved into this house, went to Cheesequake School or went to Southwood School. I wanted to know about the programs in our schools, the accolades our schools are receiving, and how our schools can better serve potential new residents. And
they've been receptive to this, obviously, if that many of them showed up.
They were blown away by it. They really, took away, we provided them a Old Bridge School District fact sheet that they can leave at the houses for any new potential clients coming in to say, this is what the Old Bridge School District is about, and these are our programs. And they felt that it really helps them in marketing the Old Bridge School District.
Boy, Superintendent, I think you set me up beautifully. Mayor?
I have to add on to that there, Gene. We also meet with the realtors. And the data that they keep shows that the average home in Old Bridge has increased in value of about, the average sale of a price is up almost $20,000.
Is it really?
The inventory of houses are down in Old Bridge. So Old Bridge has become, because the efforts of the district and the economy, it's become a place where people want to come now. And I think the school system has played a major role in that recovery.
I agree from all our discussions in the past. And to that point, folks, we have just published a brand new effort telling you all about Old Bridge Township, discusses many of the things taking place in the township, the facilities that are available, some advertising in there for some of the services that you may want to avail yourself to. And Mayor, where can the people find this magazine?
We just got it the other day, Gene. It's going to be spread out all over town. Old Bridge Day, we had a lot of them out on the tables.
Yes.
They'll be in all establishments we're delivering. We're going to give some to the school system to pick out. Please take a look at it. It's a well-done magazine.
Yeah, beautifully done.
It's new. It's all fresh. There's articles about everything in there, including the district, places to dine, places to stay, all the amenities that Old Bridge has to offer, along with its surrounding communities, and why Old Bridge is so attractive, a nice place to come, live, and raise a family, and go to school.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Okay, folks, again, it is available, and I urge you to get out and pick it up. But right now, what I'd like to do, Kathleen, if I may turn the attention to you a little bit, I don't want you sitting there being quiet and thinking we've forgotten about you. You mentioned you got involved in the effort because of relationship with Superintendent Cittadino. But I read a little bit of your background, a program or a contest you went to called Mean Stinks. Mean Stinks. I thought the whole phrasing was awkward. What's it all about, Mean Stinks?
Mean Stinks was a contest that I entered, run by 17 Magazine and Secret Deodorant, which is why it was Stinks Deodorant.
Okay, that answers that question. Okay, well said.
And it was a Twitter contest, and basically I just had to tweet out what was my kindest act against bullying. And for me, that was my anti-bullying song, Don't Let Them In. And basically its message is, I think, unique because it speaks directly to victims, whereas a lot of programs that I've seen in schools focused a lot on getting bystanders to stand up or getting the bullies to stop. None really spoke directly to the victims and said, don't let their hurtful words affect who you are. Just stay true to who you are. Surround yourself with good people, because sometimes bullies are just going to be mean no matter what you do.
No matter what you do, right. Have you had an interest in bullying before this contest came up, or did this promote the interest when you saw the contest and decided to enter it?
The main reason why I got into the anti-bullying thing was I took a songwriting class at my high school.
Yes.
And I always admired songwriters who could just make a positive impact with their music, and I saw a need for this message to be spread, and I thought, what better way than with music?
Okay, well said. Superintendent, we've talked about bullying before.
Right.
Bullying's still an issue in the schools.
You know, unfortunately, bullying never goes away. It's always prevalent, especially in the world of electronics and social media. It used to be that students could go home at the end of the school day and just, shut the door and be away from any type of bullying in the safety of their own home. But, with electronic communication, social media, that permeates into the household. So it is not something, there's no magic pill for bullying and being anti-bullying. The way it has to be done is through education, persistence, and creating a better culture and climate within the schools. And programs like Kathleen's and the message that she puts out there is really part of that, because we all know that young people connect well to music.
Yes.
And I think that's really what ties them and connects them to her song, is that it's very contemporary and easy for them to connect to.
All right, thank you. Kathleen, it seems to me as a young woman, you're in that age range which is commonly affected by bullying, right? Why the bullying, and what's the bullying focused on? Is it focused on looks? Is it focused on weight? Is it focused on brain power? Where is the bullying aimed?
I think bullying is kind of more aimed at someone that's alone, someone that's an easy target. If someone is surrounded by a group of people, no one's really going to go after them, because it's obviously that they have friends and they have a support group that are going to be like, well, who are you?
Right.
It's more so just the people that are alone, and they can be picked on for the clothes that they wear, whether their hair looks good that day, their weight, their height, I don't know, their intelligence. But it's really just, I think, being alone that makes someone a target.
Really? And young women seem to be more a target. Am I correct in saying that?
I think so, because there's a lot more girl versus girl bullying, I've noticed.
Is there really?
It just, because of, I think a lot of the times in the media and like social media especially, they promote this, like if you're not perfect,
right,
like the ideal woman, then you need to work to be that way. So the people that aren't that way kind of feel inferior to those that maybe have that look.
It's certainly a place for some words of kindness, huh?
It certainly is, yeah.
I'll tell you,
you can never be
like
too
this.
kind.
No, I'll tell you. You mentioned off the air that you're a student at Mason Gross School of Arts in New Brunswick. What are you doing there? What are you majoring in?
I'm majoring in music composition and music education.
And what are you hoping to do?
Well, I want to kind of pay forward my talent.
Okay.
My teachers really awakened in me a talent that I had no idea I possessed my sophomore year of high school.
Really?
I was not very into music until my sophomore year, and I just took a songwriting class on a whim. And because they were so patient and kind and so informative, they really nurtured this talent in me. So I would love to be able to do that for someone else, which is why I'm majoring in music education. But I also want to continue writing music for all genres, not just singer-songwriter.
Okay.
I would love to maybe score a Broadway play or like write music for Disney. Just everything with music I'm interested in.
Very ambitious and very noble direction. Very noble direction. It'd be wonderful to see you succeed. One thing, if I may, Superintendent, before we go to Kathleen, school year just started, semester just got underway. Anything new to report? Enrollment, technology?
Well, our enrollment is slightly up over the previous year, and we've seen like an upward swing since we've instituted full-day kindergarten, which is really has our kindergarten at capacity in some areas, because, you know, like the Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. And through the Old Bridge School District, we put it together, and they're there. And so we're educating students who, more than likely, in the under a half-day program, would have been sitting home half the day.
Yeah.
So that's great. And our major new initiatives this year, aside from professional development and a response to intervention, which is expanding to middle school, is a little bit the response to intervention. I just want to speak to that a little bit.
Please.
You know, school districts, Old Bridge in the past used to use a basic skills model to support the struggling learner. The response to intervention is more data-driven, professional development-driven, and really puts interventions in place in the classroom. And after our first year at the elementary level, we've seen a 43% reduction in the number of students referred to special education, so that we can provide them with third efficient education in their regular classroom setting. And of course, that has a financial impact on the school community and the taxpayers. So we're very proud that that's working well, and we're expanding it. Additionally to that, more on a fiscal and I guess environmentally friendly methodology would be that we've gone paperless. Everything from our report cards, progress reports, announcements all go to the parent portal. They go into a virtual backpack where parents can go on and find out what information going on in the schools, instead of, you know, relying upon a 7-year-old to bring home a piece of paper about an important event. Everything's online, and that's even inclusive of our parent conferences, where we have rolled it out in the past. Parents now go online to get appointments for parent conferences, and it leaves less to chance and provides the opportunity for every parent to get into the classroom to see the teachers that they need to see.
Okay, thank you. Sounds like you're up to a good start in many ways, not only with this program.
Terrific start.
Okay, Kathleen, I think it's probably time to put you on. What we're going to do, folks, is we're going to take a short break while Kathleen gets set up with her music, and she's going to play her song for you, and you can hear it for yourself, the great work she's doing. Please stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
Folks, before Kathleen plays her anti-bullying song for you, I just want to thank Mayor Owen Henry for participating today.
Thanks,
and Superintendent Cittadino for sitting in as well. Always a pleasure to have you, Superintendent.
It's great to be here, and I'll come back anytime you need me.
Okay, thank you. And now, Kathleen, I think as I've been touting you, it's time for you to come on. But before we get to your song, you have some videos you've been talking about off the air. What are they about?
Yes, there's 3 of them. One of them is the Mean Stinks video, which is with 17 Magazine and Secret Deodorant, which was recorded in 2013, which features me and my anti-bullying song. That can be found on YouTube under 2013 Mean Stinks. Another YouTube video is Hollister and Abercrombie & Fitch's All Equal campaign, which features my song, me, as well as other student advocates against against bullying, and the popular band Echosmith. That was released like a week or so ago and can be found if you search All Equal 2015 Abercrombie & Fitch. And then another PSA video, which is going to be played in a bunch of California schools, is a cyberbullying PSA, which features my song Helium. Both of these songs are on my debut EP, which is on my website. And the song Helium deals with rejection and rising above rejection, and the video is called One Click Means More Than You Think, and it's made by Impact on Stage.
Okay, well, thank you. It seems like you've been very ambitious and very busy the last couple of years. Congratulations on this success. And folks, without further ado, Kathleen Elle playing her song, Don't Let Them In. We're going to go off the air on this.
You're too fat, you're too tall, too short, don't fit in it all. You're not cool enough for me. You're too punky, you're too nerd, too gay, insert any word. Just stay away from me. Blowing them off doesn't work, 'cause what they say really hurts, but they're just too blind to see that the words cut like knives, they're probably shorten your life, picking at you piece by piece. 'Cause the harder you try, the harder you fall, someone never gonna like you at all. Don't let them in, don't let them in, don't try to be something you're not. Harder you try, the harder you fall, it's not gonna help you out at all. Don't let them in, don't let them in, don't let them break your heart. Wanna scream, wanna shout, who's it being different? It means they kick you out. Keep your identity. Don't stay up late at night, picking out your flaws, you'll never win the fight. You're your own worst enemy. Blowing them off doesn't work, 'cause what they say really hurts, but they're just too blind to see that though it's cut like knives, they're probably shorten your life, picking at you piece by piece. Because the harder you try, the harder you fall, someone never gonna like you at all. Don't let them in, don't let them in, don't try to be something you're not. Harder you try, the harder you fall, it's not gonna help you out at all. Don't let them in, don't let them in, don't let them break your heart. Although you're crying on the inside, don't let them realize they got to you. I know you're dying on the inside, here's my shoulder, I'll let you cry. I've got you. Because the harder you try, the harder you fall, someone never gonna like you at all. So don't let them in, don't let them in, don't try to be something you're not. Harder you try, the harder you fall, it's not gonna help you out at all. Don't let them in, don't let them in, don't let them break your heart. And don't let them in, don't let them in, don't let them in, don't try to be something you're not. Oh, don't let them in, don't let them in, don't let them break your heart. Cause the harder you try, the harder you fall, someone never gonna like you at all. Don't let them in, don't let them in, don't try to be something you're not. Harder you try, the harder you fall, it's not gonna help you out at all. Don't let them in, don't let them in,